Alright, Shalom Akim. I'd like to say Kal Halayim, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Kodash. Right, that was the apostles. That was a great milestone of Google. Right? I'll read this I'll read the scripture. I'll start from verse 3, right? John 8 verse 3 it says, and the scribes and Pharisees brought unto a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery. They say in the very act, right? So she was caught doing it, right? It say, now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? Because I was doing that, to try to confound him or to make him look bad. They constantly used to try to put him to these tests, to try to belittle him, or to make it look like if he wasn't ready, all that. He said, this they said, tempting him, that they might as have to accuse him. But Mashiach stooped down and with his finger right on the ground, as though he heard them not. Right? They say, so when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, he that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. And when they which heard, being convinced by their own conscience, went out one by one, being at the eldest, even unto the last, right? So everybody, they start disappearing. And Mashiach was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. And this woman is a representation of Israel. In the sense of those who are actually introduced to the word. You understand? That's why I talk about being made whole. Because the men who in the truth, they were introduced to the whole. They were made whole by being introduced to the word and understanding these things. That is why he told her this. Right? Verse 10 it say, when Mashiach had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Had no man condemned thee? She said, No man, Lord. And answered, it say, and Mashiach said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. It say, Go and sin no more. Now people just look at the scripture and tell themselves, that means that you can't judge nobody because everybody sin. But what people don't understand is when you come into this truth, you understand that before you understood these things, you were a sinner. You were just doing whatever. Some of us might have been guided by certain morals, like not lying and so forth, but we didn't understand righteousness properly. We only understand it a little bit. And when we actually come into this fold, you're supposed to change your ways. That's why he tells she what? Go forth and sin no more, because now she considered being made whole. But if she went forth and still continued doing the things that she was doing, she would have had to pay the penalty, and a worse penalty. Just like if a man of the Lord actually know the correct things and go and continue doing what he know he's not supposed to do, he would have a worse penalty to receive also. You understand? So that woman represent the ones who come into the truth and actually know the truth. You're not supposed to go back doing the same things that you used to be doing. Because yes, everybody sin. And when you didn't have this knowledge, you was sinning. But now that you have it, or now that you be considered made whole, you're not supposed to do so anymore. I'll go to the next scripture. See, there's John 5, verse 14, right? Right? John 5, I'll start from let's see where to start from. John 5, I'll start from verse 5, right? It say, and a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years. You understand? 38 years he had this infirmity. You see, when Mashiach saw him lie, and knew that he had been now a long time, in that case, he said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? You see, the impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man, right? I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. Because it was a certain time of the year that they used to actually go into a certain pool, and whoever went into the pool first, I believe, used to be made whole, like they would be healed. But he had nobody to put him into the pool to get healed. So he always used to miss his chance. It say, but while I am come, right? While I am coming, another stepped down before me, like I just said, right? It say, Mashiach said unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, because why? He believed. Because if you lame for 38 years, and a man tell you to stand up, for you to even try to stand up, that means what? You believe, right? That's what he tell the other woman. He say, your faith has healed you. Right? That show you how important faith is also. It say, and immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And there's a man who everybody knew was lame in his legs for years. And on the same day was the Sabbath. It said, the Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, It is the Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. You understand? They're just looking for some reason to be on the man. They're not joyful that the man was healed and he could finally walk, You understand? That is you'll see like these hypocrites, these two-thirds. Instead of actually acknowledging certain things, the first thing they like to do is, well, look, you just do this, and look, all you had that. Instead of actually, trying to seek out righteousness. They're always trying to oppose righteousness in some way. Right? It say he answered, verse 11, it say he answered them, He that made me whole, the same said unto me, Take up thy bed and walk. It said, then asked they him, What man is that which said unto thee, Take up thy bed and walk? So they're going in detail now. It say, and he that was healed, say, wist not who it was, for Mashiach had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place. So he hide himself. It say, afterward Mashiach findeth him in the temple, and said unto him, Behold, thou art made whole. You understand? Like how we in the truth now, we consider being made whole. And what does he tell him? He say, Sin no more, lest a worse thing come unto thee. And there's something that people doesn't understand. People just always look at the healings and the different miracles that Mashiach did, but they didn't pay attention to the fact that Mashiach used to tell the people, go forth and sin no more. If he really did come to abolish the law, that you would no longer be affected by the law, why would he tell them not to sin anymore? But we know this is not for them. This is for the men of the Lord. You understand? Lest something worse befall us. Okay, anytime you know the correct thing and you don't do it, it's problems. Even for those that fall out, it's problems. It's in Hebrews 10, Verse 26, it says, for if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no sacrifice for sin. You understand? So if you actually know that this is wrong and you're just purposely doing it, you understand? Thinking to yourself that, you'll get away with it, you would have to answer for it in some way. Especially depending on the severity of the transgression. You understand? The Lord will deal with you accordingly. I have many scriptures that show these things. This is one scripture I like. It's for 43. Matthew 12:43. It says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. And that refers to what? The men and the people of the Lord who actually received the understanding. All those wicked spirits that was in you before, that had to depart, because now Mashiach dwell in you. Even though they mightn't be completely gone, they might be on the outskirts, they might jump in one of your family, still trying to get it to go off so they could come back into you. You understand? But they will still be around, right? But right now, we reach a point where, see, the unclean spirit is gone from here, right? It said, then when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Okay, even though he could jump in somebody else, he don't want somebody else. He want you. You understand? It's you he wants. It say, then he saith, I will return unto my house from whence I came out. And he mightn't come directly. If you're still in the truth, he mightn't come directly back into you, because he can't. You will go in somebody close to you, or you gotta stay in the midst, trying to get it to go off. You understand? That way you'll see, like, when you come into the truth, you'll find, like, your woman that start to go haywire. Sometimes it's not just she going haywire. It's the spirits that was on you jump on she. And they're trying to get you way back to you. So you're trying to use she to get you to go off. You understand? It's a real spiritual thing. It's a real spiritual thing. It said, then he saith, I will return unto my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept and garnished. And when he say he findeth it empty, that refers to a man who started off and was made whole, and he went back and continued doing what he was supposed to do. And he didn't hearken, he didn't take heed, he didn't continue in those things of the Lord. He went back doing his own thing according to the standards of the world. So eventually the Spirit of the Lord departed from him. And when the spirit that left him come back, he find him what? Swept and garnished, in a mess. Verse 45, it say, then goeth he and taketh with him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. And that literally means 7. You understand? Because 7 means what? Completion. Which could be 10, it could be 50. He just make sure when he go back, he carry company. So you ain't getting rid of him good. You ain't getting rid of him easy the second time. You understand? You ain't getting rid of him easy the second time. He know here what going on. I don't like getting vacated from my house. This time, more people going and live here. It said, then goeth he and taketh with him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. So they even worse than him. And they enter in and dwell there, and the last state of that man is worse than the first. So the state that the mindset that you'll be in will be even worse than even before you come into the truth. You might be caught up in some kind of madness. They might actually send you mad, literally. They might see you in St. Anne's. Who knows? Well, St. Anne's locally, as I know, is a mad institution, a crazy institution. You never know what state you will end up in, because you'll be in a worse state than before you even came into the truth. It says, even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. So for those who actually don't hearken, so for those who learn and went forth and still continued sinning, that is what will be their lot. You understand? You're supposed to continue in these things. That way it means to be made whole. When you actually learn the correct thing, you learn the ways of the Lord, all the ordinances and all these things, you have to continue in them to be whole, to be considered whole. They say what? Lest something worse befall thee. And this is one of the something worse. Because when you reach in this state, you might never come out of that state. 10 to 1, you'll never come out of that state. So you'll just be waiting until the time of destruction. Our next scripture I wanted to bring out, Luke 12. Here's one of my loves. Luke 12. Luke 12 verse 47 is saying, and that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, neither did according to the Most High and his Son's will, right? You say he shall be beaten with many stripes. Why? Be beaten with many stripes because you knew. Like say if you have a child, and if you have two children, and you tell one of them not to do something, and both of them go and do the same thing wrong. The one who didn't know, he might get licks, but you might be more lenient on him. Why? Because he didn't know. But for the one who you're told not to do it and he still went and do it, that is the one who really looking for the curtail, right? It say, but he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes, right? Same thing. And these people out here, all of them received the word in some way, but they didn't have the understanding of it. Not like the men of the Lord. That is why our penalty will be worse than theirs. Why? Because even though they hear it, they don't already understand, because they were not given that spirit to understand. Right? I will see all those people that were healed, all those people that he healed that actually had faith and believed. They were considered what? The elect out of the group. Because they actually had the understanding and they had the faith, which is something that in this time only the elect and the 1/3 will have. The 2/3 of Israel, they don't have faith. And they don't have the understanding. Right? Shall be beaten with few stripes. It say, for unto whomsoever much is given of him shall much be required. And that pertains to a man of understanding. It say, unto whom men have committed much of him, they will ask the more. And much have been committed unto us as men of the Lord. We is the sheepdog. Supposed to be doing. So there's a small touch, name it lest something worse befall thee, because we know it have a worse punishment that the 2/3 are going to receive if he's a man of the Lord that fall out and go back doing the things of the world that you're not supposed to be doing. You understand? And the scriptures say it in many different places, but I just use this, these scriptures to just give a brief little breakdown on it. Right? So I hope it was edifying. And with that, I'd like to say Kal Halayim, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwat Ash. Right? Double honor to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone of Rubel. Peace, Barakiam to the elders, that push this word. We say Shalom. Is Yaraba. Akiam, stay strong.